Hey, what's up, guys? What's up, guys? Hope you're having a great day. Again, appreciate y'all for tuning in. Appreciate y'all for tuning in. Beautiful Sunday today. Perfect weather. Perfect weather. Not too hot out here. Just, just perfect out here. But hope you're having a great day. Hope you're having a great day out here. If you got time, come outside and enjoy the weather. Yeah, appreciate y'all for being in here. Again, taking a little walk. Take a little walk out here. Hope you're having a great day. But I want to talk about, since it's Sunday, I haven't talked about religious things in a while. I want to talk about, you know, in church we taught that God is everywhere in everything, that God is an omnipresent God. And just want to know if, anybody believes that, whatever creator you believe in. Been taught in Christianity all my life that God is an omnipresent God, that He's everywhere at every time. Sometimes you may feel doubt, as far as that notion that God is everywhere, because sometimes we get into situations where we feel like we're stuck, or we feel like there's no hope. And so the question is, do you believe in an omnipresent God, a God that's everywhere? Or do you believe in a creator, period? I know a lot of people that's watching, you may be atheists, you may be agnostic, you may be, all types of religion, but the question is, do you believe in an omnipresent God, that God is everywhere? We often have, what is her favorite song? Sorry to hear about that. But again, appreciate y'all for tuning in. Hope y'all having a great day. But yeah, do you believe in an omnipresent God? God is everywhere. A lot of people don't believe in God. That's understandable. But if you believe in a creator, do you believe that God is omnipresent, that He's everywhere? A lot of people doubt. God because they've been through certain situations that they feel like they couldn't get out of, and they felt like no one was there to take them out of that situation. And so I think that's an important question. Do you believe in an omnipresent God? Because a lot of people, they doubt things because, like I said, the situations they've been through, and they feel like no one was there for them, And, a lot of times I go to certain churches and they say, oh, God was a man, God is a woman, God is both. Or they say God is a spirit, And I think the notion of God being a spirit goes along with God being omnipresent, So I kind of go with that when it comes to who God is, How you doing, little banana 4? So I kind of go with that notion, about who God is. Uh, people have their arguments, throughout time, because throughout history, there was a masculine control, I guess you could say, as far as who God is. How you doing? Authentic Talk podcast. So yeah, I know I have agnostic people, I have atheist people, I have Islamic people. But the question is, do you believe in an omnipresent God? I feel like it has always been a debate about that. Is God a man? Is God a woman? Is God a spirit? And and I hate to say this, and I know I may hit religious people severely with this statement, but we don't know until we pass away from this earth who really God is to me, and I think it's nonsense to argue over who God is until we leave this earth, and we go back to our Creator. If you believe in the Creator, appreciate you. The boys got me. Appreciate you for subbing, subscribing. But I think it's pointless to argue over things in the Bible, period, because we argue over things that's we never seen before. And I think that's been causing a lot of wars. So many different wars was over religion, political pressure, especially during the Greco-Roman period. During, if you heard of the Council of Nicaea, they debated over how to believe in Jesus. They argued about how Jesus will be viewed in the future. And so this is something they sort of created as far as modern day Christianity, or I should say the Protestant faith, because Christianity falls under the Protestant belief system. If it's with as far as Presbyterian, Methodist, Episcopal, I'm from Baptist, so they all fall under they fall under Protestant, and then Protestant falls under Catholicism, but all of it falls under that umbrella, I should say. But I think it's a lot of things that we argue as far as religion. It's pointless. I used to be at a time where I used to debate with my friends about the Bible, and now I see I feel like it's pointless. I just live my life. Everybody has their own beliefs. It's like 1,000 different views on one particular scripture. One church may believe that I've witnessed it myself. One church, they believe that unaliving yourself is a sin, and then one church it says it's not a sin. So it's a lot of different arguments. Me being a church musician myself, I've seen a lot of different views on a particular scripture. I may go to church, and I never forget, I go to church in the morning, they preach the same scripture, and they say something totally different from the other church I play at. Because I used to play at two churches on Sunday. I used to play at my home church in the morning, and then the evening service at another church. And they say two totally different things about the same scripture. And so I believe it's very pointless in a lot of ways. And a lot of religious people may get on me about that. But, it is what it is. I feel like a lot of Christians, they be, what I believe is true. And then when you go to another Christian church, they say something totally different than what you believe. And so Let me know in the comments what y'all think about that. But the initial question is, do you believe in the omnipresent God? That God is everywhere. You know, I feel like God is energy. I do believe in demonic spirits. As we see things unravel throughout, these trials and different people accused of different acts. You know, for example, Diddy trial, we see like demonic spirits. And I think words like the Illuminati, things of that nature, is all just names of demonic spirits. Demonic rituals, demonic cults. Things that people get into in order to get to another level uh, in a demonic way. So I believe it's demonic spirits. I believe there's demonic spirits, in the world. Uh, but it's just I think it's based on your own decision, what direction you want to go, as far as believing, or as far as your decision, as far as the route you're going to go. Diddy chose to follow those different demonic cults, those demonic rituals, in order to get where he was. And all it's gonna you're gonna end up paying for those things that you did, those things that you committed, those acts that wasn't right. But as far as trying to get to where he got, he had to do those things in order to get where he was going. And so yeah, I do believe in demonic spirits. I do believe in demonic spirits, that those things can get on you. I do believe that. I do believe, but I view it as more simple as energy. A certain energy that comes on you. You could be by somebody. You could be some by some. You can be by somebody that's you know you just sense people's energy, how they feel about you. You can feel if somebody don't really want you in their presence. You can feel those things around you. You wonder why you feel those things. You feel those different. You get around certain people, you feel different. You feel weird. And that can be a certain energy that you don't want to be around. And so again, appreciate y'all for being in here. Uh, and if you watch this later on, uh, and you want to comment on this interesting conversation, feel free to conversate. And also, please subscribe to this channel. Please subscribe to this channel. Again, appreciate y'all for being in here. Also, if you want to support this channel, $ Open Mind Convo, $ Open Mind Convo. The link is in my bio on YouTube. But again, appreciate y'all for being on this channel, Open-Minded Conversations. Excuse me. But yes, it's just so much going on. But the question is, do you believe in the omnipresent God, that God is everywhere? And a lot of people don't believe that because they've been through situations where they felt like no one, like I said, no one was there, no one was around to help them, and they downfall, or help them where the situation they felt like they were stuck, and they felt like they was in a life or death situation. And a lot of people, they have family members that died from certain causes, certain natural bodily causes or diseases, or certain cancers, where they lost faith. They lost faith in God because of those things. Those things that happen to them. And so again, appreciate y'all for being in here. Leave a comment. If you want to be a part of this conversation, give me a thumbs up on this video, so it can go in the algorithm. Again, appreciate y'all for being in here. Beautiful Sunday out here where I'm at. Again, appreciate y'all for y'all support on this channel, and I'll see y'all next time. All right, peace.